Here with the F&O show, this is ET now, and it's turning out to be an extremely range-bound session, although it's a very narrow band that the Nifty has been largely lying quiet in today's trading session. The Nifty spot then just about circling around that 53.20, 53.10 sort of mark. So it's a very narrow 20-point band that the Nifty has up until now been maintaining. And pretty stock-specific moves, you would have to say. While Maruti is holding out, you've got a Tata Motors, which is under pressure. Similar is the case in the metals universe as well. Sterlite looking good and pressure coming in from Hindalco as well as Tata Steel. So pretty split, you'd have to say, today's market. However, there is traction for some of the broader market participants. So the likes of Shrey Infrastructure, United Spirits, which has perked up a good 11% in trade, HTIL, Financial Technologies, Dabur, which has been a steady performer from the day, from the word go, a good 3% gain coming in there. Shrey Infrastructure, OnMobile, HTIL, Financial Technologies, Pantaloon, Jet, as well as Shobha Developers are the names which are holding up well. Aerocom is looking weak. Escomars is the other one, which is down about 6.5%. Opto Circuits, Tata Motors amongst the big boys, UCO Bank, Adani Port, Orchid Pharma, JP and Hindalco amongst the frontline names, and Bharat Forge as well is looking weak. Let's quickly then bring in our experts and talk about how you should be trading the current market environment. C.K. Narayan would be with us in just minutes from now. Sandeep Barclay joins in on the show, and Dipesh Mehta, derivatives analyst from Nirmal Bang Securities as well, is here with us on the show. Dipesh, let me start off with you. How would you go about trading the index considering it's been so quiet today?
We continue the view of maintaining being neutral on the market. The thing is, if you see, we've seen a 5.5–6% rise since the expiry. So I think this is the kind of a consolidation that will happen. On the option side, if you see, we've seen unwinding coming in from the 5200 call and 5300 call. Whereas on the upside, 5400 call and 5500 call will act as a strong resistance on the higher side. So I think we will be trading in a narrow band of 5200 and 5400. For a week or two. So I think selling options, out of the money options for both, that is 5400 call and 5200 put, is a very good bet. The net inflow that the seller would receive is around 60 rupees. The break even would come around 54.60 on the higher side and 51.40 on the lower side. So it's a big band to trade in, and one needs to keep a stop loss of 80 rupees on the higher side, I think.
CK, what is your thought on how one should go about trading the index considering it's been so quiet today?
It's been quiet, but it's not, again, at the risk of sounding very repetitive about this, it's not really ceding ground, and it's been managing to maintain. We'll have to keep moving our trailing stop losses a little closer on pending long position, which is what I would suggest doing with the pending long position we do have in the Nifty future. I think I would move it up to somewhere around 5318. I know this is a little bit aggressive, but then we have given the market several days to go higher, and we do want to protect profits. So 5300 to 5320, that should be the range where you should have your pending stop loss on any existing positions. New positions to be created with a little more room for the index to breathe. So if you're creating one now, then you'll have to give it something like 40–50 points. As far as the Bank Nifty is concerned, I had advocated a short position on Friday, and it's a little bit in the money. So what I would do again here is to move my stop. Initial stop advice was at about 10,525. This I would now bring down by about 50 points to about maybe 10,475. So net on net, we are risking lesser amount of money. So I think with the lack of movement, this is what we should practice, that we should be, slightly make the stops a little tighter so that we expose lesser risk to the markets if it were to have any kind of unfavorable move.
Sandeep, hi, afternoon. How would you go about trading the index?
Aisha, good afternoon. The last 3 days have been extremely frustrating for a trader, and the only positive thing that I see is the stop at this point in time. If one takes a trade, a long trade, is only 20–25 points down, and we have continued our long trade since the last week, and we have reduced our exposure in the Nifty, but we would add on in case 53.45 is taken out on the upside, and I see traction up to 5400, 5410. A limited upside view is what I would talk of, and if you take a trade at this point in time or at 54.50, your stop is only 25–30 points. 54.20, as Dr. Narayan mentioned, I am absolutely with him. 54.18, 54.15, somewhere around that. and that is holding out, and I think a lot of stock specific moves are coming in. I am still positive and my bias is on the upside.
Okay, let's track some individual stocks. And like I said, United Spirits really is on a tear, and it's the highest level that you're seeing on the stock since November 11th. So good going on United Spirits right now. CK, what do you think is aiding this move? And does it seem like this, fresh bout that we're seeing on the stock could continue for the next few sessions as well?
Well, what is aiding it in terms of news, I have absolutely no idea. But very clearly, I can see from the chart that the momentum and volumes are most certainly aiding the upside traction in this particular stock. And of that, there seems to be plenty left. So that is why the stock is not really conceding any ground and keeps overhauling any overhead resistance, which it is doing so today as well. Now, we have some immediate resistance coming at about 940. But the momentum on the current move is pretty strong, and then we should expect it to keep going till there. Clearly, there is some news out there which is not maybe public yet, but there are enough people in the know who are helping to push the stock higher. Be that as it may, what we say in technicals always is that the pattern forms first and the news follows later. So the patterns on United Spirit charts have been forming very, very consistently ever since it bounced off that low to 705, and it has remained patent right till today, and it's trading today at about 920. This is a huge move by any standard. So I think we should just stick to what the market is saying and seek explanations later. I think a move till 940 certainly looks to be on the cards for me here.
Dipesh, the weakest link when it comes to the Nifty 50 names is indefinitely Tata Motors, and on the flip side, Maruti is seeing some gains today. How would you trade these two stocks?
I would actually recommend people to have a pair trade in it, I think, because if you see derivative data also, there are fresh longs coming in the Maruti stock in today's trade, and comparatively we witnessed fresh shorts ahead of in Tata Motors. So I think one can easily form a fresh pair trade in it. With the current ratio is around 5.22. We are just recommending that the Maruti will outperform Tata Motors. We are not saying that it won't go up or it won't come down. It's just that Maruti will outperform Tata Motors. The current ratio of the pair trade is 5.22, which is actually been achieved by dividing Maruti's current market price of futures with Tata Motors. So I think this ratio will move up to 6.5 in a week or so, and one can just book profits at that moment.
Okay, slip into a quick break on that note. When we come back, we'll get to stock-specific recommendations from our three experts. Back with the F&O show, still looking fairly quiet in trade, circling around the 53.23 mark on the Nifty spot. And the premium on the Nifty futures is now quoting around 17 points the last time I checked. Still in conversation with our three experts on board, CK Narayan, Sandeep Agle, as well as Dipesh Mehta from Nirmal Bang. And of course, standard disclaimer before we kickstart our stock-specific ideas for you. Do consult your financial advisor before taking any position in the futures and options market. Sandeep, let me start off with you first on your earlier calls.
We had taken a lot of long positions hoping the Nifty would break out last week, but that has not happened. It has closed at the high, but it has come back again. A buy in Hindalco, we are recommending an exit at a total loss of around 1,000 rupees per lot. Don't see that momentum. A buy in Century Textiles, we are in the money. We had a buy at around 315. I don't think I want to wait for the target, which is 328. I am positive, but around 7,000-8,000 rupees is what we are making at this point in time. So we would recommend booking of profits. A buy in Sesa Goa, which is again at a total profit of 4 or 5,000 in the money. So I would recommend booking of profits. A buy on Apollo Tyres at a level of 85, 84, 70 with a target of 89. I recommend a hold in that. And a sell in PFC. All of this is in August futures. That is also in the money. We have recommended a sell at 187. I recommend a hold in that.
CK, let's revisit your earlier calls as well.
Well, nothing much different from what Sandeep said. Lots of pending positions. Fortunately, one or two did meet targets. I think one is Tata Motors, where we were looking at about 226. So it ran into that, and that's deemed to be a closed out trade. I think we went short at about 239. So fairly decent trade that. Hero Motors, something we were looking to go short. Some at market rates, some on rally. So if somebody did sell at market rates, it has managed to achieve the target at about 1880-85. Those who waited for a rally and unfortunately would not have been able to sell. The other four are still left over. All four are long positions: TCS, HDFC Bank, Asian Paints and Bata India. In the first three names, I had already recommended that we should move our stop loss just below our entry. So that remains the situation. We are making a little bit of money here and there on most of these names, but not sufficient for us to exit. But they have not negated their promise, so let's hold on to them for a day more. In any case, we are not risking anything. So four of them are still held, all four long positions: TCS, HDFC Bank, Asian Paints and Bata India, all of them with very limited risk exposure on them.
Okay, let's start getting you fresh ideas in today's session then. Dipesh, let me start off with you. What is it that you've identified for trade by way of stock-specific calls?
Firstly, I would go long on DLF. If you see the 200 put and 210 put are having a tremendous writing pressure since morning. There are a lot of buy reports also coming from good broking houses, and I think on the technical front also it is showing some momentum on the upside itself. So I think with a stop loss of 204 on the lower side, one can hold longs in DLF for the targets of 220 to 225 on the upper side. I would also go a little bit neutral to positive on Hindalco at current market price. If you see the whole metal as a pack, I think it's getting into technically it's getting into a momentum play, and it can go up to the Hindalco can go up to 220, 125, 130 on the higher side. So I'm recommending a bull call ratio spread for Hindalco, wherein I'm recommending people to go long at 120 call and sell two calls of 130 at current market price.